Hey guys, what's up? It's X, and as you could tell, it's not going to be gameplay video this time. Before I get started, I want to say that I'm sorry for the lighting. This is actually being recorded through my laptop, so it's not going to be the best quality unless I have like a bunch of lights on me, and I only have one. And plus, it's basically sitting on my laptop, so if it jiggles a little bit, you're just going to have to kind of bear with it. But anyway, this video is going to be a pickups video, and it's not going to be every game I've picked up because this is going to be from December, well, I guess Christmas time all the way to now. But this is not going to be every game I've picked up since then. This is just going to be, I guess, the standouts. Um, but anyway, the first game that we're going to start with is Splinter Cell Essentials for the PSP, um, which is pretty good from what I played of it so far. It's a really solid Splinter Cell. The only problem is with this is that, as many of you may or may not know, the PSP doesn't have a two analog sticks. It just has one. So if you want to do something that requires the right analog, you have to use like certain button combinations, which is a little bit annoying. That's my really only one of my main beasts with the PSP. I mean, I love it, but it just really needed that right analog stick, which they did fix with the PS Vita. Um, Now going a little bit further back, uh, I have I can never think of how you pronounce this. I think it's Gullerin, maybe. I cannot pronounce this worth of crap. But anyway, to be honest with you guys, I never heard of this game until last year, and it kept popping up on best of PlayStation lists, essentials basically. And this is an RPG, or excuse me, not RPG. I'll get out of here in a minute. Survival horror with a sci-fi twist to it. Um, and it actually is complete. It has like both the discs and the instruction guide with it. And I wound up for a while. This game was a little bit difficult to get because it was so high priced. But luckily on eBay, I managed to catch it for about I kind of really want to say around $20 or so. So it was actually a pretty good deal. So I wound up getting it. And I played a couple hours of it, and it's actually a pretty good game. Now, a lot of these games I'm showing you, these are going to be put on my backlog. Um, so I haven't really beat these yet. But in order to get a sense of what they were like, I would play like about an hour or two of them. So just be aware of that. And plus, all these games are not really that expensive. Some of them are more harder to find than others, at least around here. So just be aware of that. There's no like hidden gems where I've bought a game for like $300. I simply don't have don't have the money to to spend on rare games like that. But so far, a pretty solid game so far. And next, another uh, PS1 classic is Legend of Legaia. Now, on this one, I used to have a long time ago, back when I had, originally had my first PS1, and years after that, I was strapped for cash, so I had to sell quite a few games. This was one of the games I sold at in Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm still paying for that one. But on this game right here, I kept trying ever since then, I kept trying to find it. And I finally did see it over in two places. One was this retro game store, and they had it for about roughly $20, $22, somewhere around in there. And the other one was at half price, which they were wanting about $35, maybe $40 for it. And so when I saw this at the retro game store, I was going to pick it up, and then I saw another game that that I had to make a choice of which one to get because I didn't have enough money to get both. So I ended up getting the other game, and I said, well, if this game is still there in that next week, I would go ahead and get it. And and then I went back a week later. Sure enough, it was there. I'm sorry if I keep looking there. I keep forgetting that the camera is right here and not down here. It's just really a habit more than anything. So just excuse me on that. But anyway, back to my story. So I wound up getting it, and on this one, I think this wasn't complete. Let me look. Yeah, it's got the disc in it, but it doesn't have game manual in it, which is fine because it kind of teaches you how to play it. Now, the interesting thing about Legend of Legai, I'll try to keep this camera as steady as I can, um, is that while you can use weapons, for the most part, use like a martial arts. So as you go, you kind of learn various combinations, like it would be like left left down or left back left down or something like along that lines. You can kind of experiment or learn it, and you get these different, more powerful combinations to attack enemies with. Pretty interesting though, I will say that much. I'll try not, like I said, I'll try not to shake too much. It is on my lap. Now this right here is the game that I got instead of it, when I first visited the retro store, and that is Nier, which is the basically the before Nier Automata. And I think I'm not 100% sure. Somebody said that this takes place in the same universe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but when you start the game, it actually takes place in modern times, and then it switches over to kind of like the sword and sorcery type of scenario. It's kind of weird, and because it takes place like right after, like after modern day. I think it takes place after it's either hundreds of years or thousands of years or whatever. And this guy happens to still be alive for whatever reason. I did play, I think, over an hour of this, and I never did really find out quite yet, which I'm sure further uh, down the road I'm going to be able to find out about it. But like I said, that's another one on a backlog. But it is good, really good from what I played of it so far. Now this game right here for a PS2, this is very, I won't say it's uncommon, but to try to find it around where I'm at, I just never saw it until I went to Half Price one day and found it. And this is Persona 4, which I think I got for $10, I believe, which is a pretty good deal. It's actually fairly decent as far as like the quality goes. I mean, no real. Yeah, I have to look close up because I can't see close up, or far away rather. Um, and it's a fairly good quality. I saw the anime for this, at least some of it. It's been some time ago, and I figured, once I saw this, it's like, well, I guess I'll go ahead and pick it up. And I was planning on picking up the Persona 5 uh, anyway further down the road when it became cheaper. And I thought, well, if I'm going to pick it up anyway, I'll just try to find the rest of them. And of course, I got a Persona 3 a while back. I think I had that featured on a previous pickup video. And of course, I saw this and I was like, oh, hell yeah. I'd like to have the first and second Persona, and I think those were for PS1, but those are ungodly expensive, and I just simply don't have the money for that. Next, PS4, Nier Automata. Now, as many of you guys know, I had this on the um, digital release, day one. But I like to collect physical media. Digital's okay and all, but I want something that I can actually, touch and say, hey, I actually own this. Um, for those of you guys who haven't played this is really a good game. Just check out my gameplay footage, and I have uh, how-tos on some of this stuff. So just be sure if you're interested in this to just check those out. Now this game this series I kind of came into just recently, and I'm not for sure how to pronounce this. I think it's Danganronpa, I think. I'm probably butchering this, V3. And this is a pretty interesting series. At least for this one, and I've seen the anime that was on Crunchyroll, and it's real good if you haven't seen it. But this is kind of like that, where you wake up and you find out that you're trapped with 16 other students in a school that you can't get out from. and these Monokuma, which are these guys right here, these kind of robotic bears, um, they have you trapped in there, and they basically say that what they want you to do is participate in a killing game, which so in order to get of out of the school, there are certain requirements that have to be met. So if you kill somebody, it gets announced that there is a body found, and then the rest of the students have to figure out who it is that killed, whoever. And once they have somebody narrowed down, they have to have a trial. And if you and you have to make absolutely sure that this person that you're accusing is the right person, because if it's the wrong person, the person that actually committed the crime actually gets to leave the school, while the rest of the classmates get killed. And the Monokumas, they keep, of course, nobody wants to kill each other, but the Monokumas keep, having these little things of like, oh, you'll kill me if, we arrange this to happen. It's a very macabre sort of game. It's very dialogue heavy. I will warn you about that. You do like a lot of talking to other students, and eventually, and I haven't got this part yet, you'll be doing some detective work to try to find out basically who did it. But something different, and if you're looking for something different, I would suggest picking that up. Now, I got another game that's in that series, and this is called Ultra Despair Girls. Another episode. Now, this one's a little bit different because this one, your character you discover that she's been trapped in her apartment for a year, and she doesn't know who put her there at all until finally one day she manages to get out. This is basically a third-person shooter, and the weapon, if you can call it a weapon, is sort of like a hacking gun. And once again, the Monokumas make an appearance, but this time they're kind of, for the most part, brainless. They're just going around killing everybody, and you can use your hacking gun to kind of either get rid of them completely or hack them to do certain things. But you find out that there's somebody behind the Monokumas, and once you find out, you're kind of like, wow, that's a little disturbing. And this game, much like the other one, is disturbing. I'd say this is probably more disturbing than the other one so far. I did beat this one. I haven't beat the other one yet, but I did beat this one, and I loved it. It's a really good, disturbing game. But like I said, if you're looking for something different, pick it up. This one is not expensive. I think this is 20. Now this one, I think this is, I think 50 or 60 bucks. But this one right here is just 20 bucks. So just a real easy, good purchase. Now this one is for PS3, and this actually, throughout the years I've seen it, and I kept saying, well, I'm going to pick it up, and I never did until all of a sudden it started, you couldn't find it anywhere. But luckily I did find this at a half price for, I think, 10 bucks maybe, I want to say. And this is the orange box, which happens to have Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, and Portal. Now, I'm slow to the game here. I've never played Half-Life 2. I did play, Half-Life 1. Well, when I saw this, I was like, oh, yeah, we're definitely getting it because I need to really play Half-Life 2 because that has always been critically acclaimed, among fans. And I have been playing quite a bit of it. And so far, I really like it. There's one instance where I kind of felt it kind of drug a little bit. I won't spoil it for anybody who still hasn't played it. But yeah, overall, so far, a really good game. And I played a bit of, I haven't really played Team Fortress 2, but I did play a bit of Portal, which was okay. But I just haven't had really time to, with all the backlog, just really play it. So right now I'm trying to focus on playing Half-Life 2 and beating it to kind of, get going on the backlog. And finally, game-wise, we have Guilty Gear 2, which I got, I think, for 9 or 10 bucks. And in case you don't know, this is a fighting game. And it really plays well from what I've played of it. And what the cool part about this is, as far the deal I got for 10 bucks is not bad, but this, as you can see, is a pretty good cover. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it, and it's complete. And I looked at it the other day, and this game, this disc has no scratches on it whatsoever, like none, which is pretty rare for like a PS2 game because PS3 and a PS4 you can basically find with if you have a scratch, it's very light, but for the most part, they don't have any kind of scratches. PS2 and PS1 is a completely different story. So when you find a PS2 that plays and has no scratches on it, that's pretty damn good, in my opinion. But like I said, it plays pretty well, and just basically a clean copy, and I'm glad I got it. And finally, on my pickups, I got this actually for Christmas. It's not really game related, it's more anime. And I know like a lot of gamers like anime, so I figured, well, why not? I'll just go ahead and show this. And this is, I got this for Christmas from my mom. And this is actually Maya from Kult Academy, which is a good series. If you've never seen that series, you should check it out. Uh, Figures of this kind normally are expensive as hell. I mean, 150 on up, if that gives you any idea. And I never, let's be honest, with the money I make, which is pretty decent money, I still can't afford anything like this. It's just too high. So I figured, so luckily this was on sale, and I thought, well, if somebody gets this for me, then I could say, hey, I finally have one, even though I'll probably never get another one. At least, I finally have one. But it's a pretty good quality video. I guess you can change out the face, and it comes with a phone and all this stuff. But and I'll probably never. Well, I don't know. I may take it eventually out of the box. You never know. But we'll we'll see. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it in there. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys for today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can keep notified. And lastly, please show my videos some love. The past few videos have not been getting hits like they should have, and I've got like 308 subscribers. So you would think out of all that somebody would surely God would be watching that. So just give some love to the other videos. Hell, even if you don't like them, just let them run. And if you, in case you don't know, I've still got some how-to videos. Like Fallout 4 for beginners, Elder Scrolls Online for beginners, just stuff like that if you're interested in. But anyway, that's all for today, guys, and take care, and I hope to see you guys real soon.